remember, this is a nascent activity. So all the investments in mobile banking and the technology infrastructure and the distribution of that is relatively new. It's only about a year and a half to two. So today it's not a meaningful percentage of the total business or the balance sheet. But the future potential is immense, as I said.
So you're talking more about that than what's on the balance sheet today?
Correct. I'm talking more about the potential of mobile banking for us and for the sector as a whole.
Right. Remittances, how does that feature on your balance sheet and as a driver of your business?
Remittances have been growing very impressively. We have to acknowledge the support that we have received from the central bank. In fact, it's been a specific initiative from the State Bank of Pakistan to encourage remittances. We get remittances which help us open more accounts of the end customer. And of course, the transaction flow makes fee income for us as well. And that is a growing percentage of our revenue base.
What is the scenario in terms of the competition between financial institutions in Pakistan going to play out like, given the fact that you're one of the larger institutions which collectively, I think the top 5 account for more than 90% of the profitability of the banking system in Pakistan, and then everybody else is irrelevant in a way. Do you see a reason to go on an acquisition streak to acquire small players and create scale in your business?
We would like to increase our market share further. And we have two ways to do that. Either organically continue to grow like we are, and that's our main challenge. But what is the sentiment,
yeah, to grow organically?
We prefer to grow organically. I think it's a more controlled way to grow. It is something that we've done well in the past, so we think we have a fair way of doing that well.
Right. You were about to buy the RBS franchise in Pakistan, and that was somewhat put on hold by the regulators. What's the story there, and what are you waiting? Are you still interested in that franchise? And what's stopping the process today?
We are no longer in contention for that franchise. We did conduct due diligence last year, and then through negotiation had won the bid, and we were very hopeful of being able to assimilate RBS into our franchise. But then we came up against some regulatory hurdles which meant that we could not meet the CPs, and therefore the whole deal was called off mutually between RBS and ourselves. Now the process of selling RBS is a separate exercise. We will continue to look for other opportunities. But as I said earlier, we're really looking to focus on organic growth.
The relationship between the corporate sector and the state in Pakistan, with change in government, with a lot of pressures coming from the rural communities and so on, what is the critical success factor to survive that process, and how as a corporate you can keep your head above the water and keep it going in today's environment?
Well, again, politics is politics. It's variable, it fluctuates, and in a country like Pakistan, it does that quite a bit. So businesses have to be nimble, they have to be flexible, they have to adjust, and that really means that you've got to have your cost base under control. You've got to be able to move quickly. You've got to have enough cushion in your capital to be able to absorb shocks. You have to have the right risk management approaches to be able to cover volatility in the economy emanating from politics. So that's what it means for us. That we've got to be far more active and conscious of changing environment, and still be profitable.
Right. And is your institution aligned one way or another among the 3 or 4 major factions in the Pakistani political process?
No, absolutely not.
Is there a policy of non-alignment?
There's absolutely a policy of non-alignment, a policy of professionalism. which means that we do our business, we put our customer first, and we try to serve the needs of the customer, and not get involved in any politics in any way.
There was a time in the before the current instability, the war of terror, where an institution like yours was attractive to foreign investors. You were actively looking to become attractive to foreign investors. You had this investment from a Malaysian bank, Maybank. How did that come about? What is the value that they provide, and how's that relationship going today?
The global crisis, right after they made that investment, probably put some of those plans a little bit on the back burner, but we still are looking for Maybank to be a strong, credible partner for us. For instance, if we wanted to expand our operations into the Middle East or other areas, we would want to have Maybank as our partner going into those markets. We are looking for Malaysian investment to start coming back to Pakistan at some stage, and as that happens, then this combination of the strongest or the largest bank in Malaysia and ourselves, that partnership would be ideal to take advantage of these investments that start coming in. We have other advantages that we're looking at. Maybank has strength in Islamic banking, and Islamic banking is a growing sector in our country. So there is a transfer of technology and products and services that can take place. Then we can benefit from their investments in technology, in systems, processes. And those are the things that we are really looking to create synergies on.
How tied is the Pakistani economy to the Middle East, and how established are you in the Middle East? Do you have ambitions in the Middle East?
Yes, Middle East is probably our strongest economic partner as a region. That's because of trade flows. That's also because of the Pakistani diaspora that exists in that area. And that's clearly an opportunity for banks to tap into. We do not have as extensive a penetration in the Middle East as some of our larger competitors. We'd certainly like to change that, and we are looking at opportunities to invest in the Middle East.
What are the milestones that you would like to see happen, or you think we should be looking at to see if there's any transformation taking place in Pakistan in the next 2 to 3 years? And are you optimistic?
The nation as a whole is now beginning to really understand the issues, talk about these issues, and then start resolving them. So I see, and then of course, as you mentioned earlier, there is this war going on, and I think the army has to be given a lot of credit for bringing that under control. And there is a degree of strong respect coming back for the armed forces that is also critical for success in the future. We do have lots of challenges. We have significant economic issues, fiscal imbalances. We have issues around our trade imbalance as well. But those are things that I think can be challenged. This is fundamentally an economy that has shown that it can bounce back quickly if given the right kind of environment. And I think we're moving towards that kind of an environment. So I would be very hopeful about the prospects of Pakistan and the economy. Now, within that, when that starts happening, institutions are like ourselves who are investing right now to ensure that we have the right foundations, we have the right technology, we have the right people, we have the right products and services. That turnaround in the economy is going to benefit us significantly. So my suggestion would be to the others as well to not lose heart and stay in there and continue to invest for the future.
Mr. Atif Bajwa, thank you very much for giving us this primer on the country. Thank you very much.